Welcome back to Umineko, the final episode of the Umineko When They Cry questions arc. So, we will be moving on to the answers arc after this, but before that, we will have one episode in between where I just go over everything in the questions arc with a fine-toothed comb. We will figure this out. But for now, we're going to finish up episode 4 with the tea party. So, we're just going to go... We're going to do the tea party and the question marks this episode. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 hours. We're doing it all in one episode. So, let's go. I don't have a clue what's going on. Please, someone explain in a way even I can understand. What happened yesterday? I was in the kitchen of the mansion, grabbing some food without permission. If you open up that massive business-class refrigerator, you can find anything. You can eat and drink as much as you like. Even if the typhoon didn't clear up for a week, I'd have more than enough to eat. With wine in one hand, I was helping myself to some dry-cured ham. I guess the whole alcohol theory is one thing to keep in mind here now, but I'm not buying that. I think that we're still. I'm gonna treat this as reliable until we start seeing magic anyway. Like, outright magic. I wonder just how expensive this wine and ham are. You ingredients are out of luck, too. If only you'd had Goda-san to cook you, you could have been reborn as much more incredible food. I looked at the clock. Very soon it would be midnight. October 5th, the second day, would end. The insane October 4th yesterday seemed like a lie. That's how much nothing had happened after that test thing. Nothing happened. No phone call came, and no letters came. No person came, and no one attacked me. Nothing happened at all. I want to start demanding a refund on all the time and energy that tension stole from me. Because after that, for an entire day, a full 24 hours, nothing happened. So surely nothing's gonna happen now. A full 24 hours ago, Beatrice called me to the spot in front of the mansion's entrance. There, I was given a strange test to determine the successor to the headship, or whatever. I gave a serious answer in my own way, but it somehow hadn't meshed with the other side. Beatrice got pissed for no reason and fell silent. I yelled at her to try and say something, but she gave no answer. When I asked where Maria was, she just told me to go to the chapel and left. To tell the truth, it was an anticlimax. No matter what kind of weird test you give, at least tell me whether I've passed or failed. Are you trying to say thanks for coming, your results will be mailed to you later, or something? Quit messing with me. Anyway, I then headed to the chapel. After failing their tests, both George, Aniki, and Jessica were killed. I couldn't let Maria get killed, too. Also, I might get a chance to catch some person trying to kill her. Let's just double check here. Yeah, still George is the only body we've confirmed. As a little kid, I often heard from Jessica that you'd get in trouble if you went near the chapel, so I'd never been near there. But I at least knew where it was. I couldn't find any trace of a person there, but there was a key bundle lying in front of the door. I thought this might be someone telling me to open the door, but after trying all the keys, I found that none of them fit. I also called Maria's name, but there was no answer whatsoever. I searched around the chapel, but there was a limit to what I could do in the pitch black with just a flashlight. I realized that this key bundle might be a set of master keys, which could make it possible to open the door to the mansion. I found no sign of Maria, so I returned to the mansion. The mansion was wrapped in silence, and in a horrible stench. However, it's amazing how good humans are at adapting. The inside of the mansion must still be wrapped up in that smell. However, I grew completely used to it and stopped minding it. It didn't seem any worse than any old house where someone had burnt some meat. At first I was bewildered by the stench, but I decided to head to the dining hall for the time being. And found those corpses that were so pitiful. Goda-san and the rest had hesitated to speak of them in detail. Alright, now we've got some details here. Ushidamiya Natsuhi. Her corpse was found in the dining hall. About half of her head was destroyed. It's probably reasonable to assume that she was murdered with a powerful gun or something similar. However, the witnesses don't believe she was killed with a gun. Ushidamiya Hideyoshi. His corpse was found in the dining hall. About half of his head was destroyed. It's probably reasonable to assume that he was murdered with a powerful gun or something similar. However, the witnesses don't believe he was killed with a gun. Her corpse was found in the dining hall. Same thing here. Same thing here. And same thing here. It was the remains of Aunt Natsuhi and the others who had become the first victims. Half of each head had been completely split open. And it was so gruesome that even without knowing a thing about examining corpses, I could say that they were 100% dead. And on top of that, the remaining halves of their faces were left like normal, so it was even easy to identify them. Really convenient corpses these were. And in addition to those 6 bodies was one more. The seventh corpse was Maria. What? Her corpse was found in the dining hall. Battler wasn't able to make out any wounds in particular, so he assumed that she was killed by some kind of poison. The most peaceful form of invitation to the Golden Land. She lay next to Aunt Rosa as though sleeping alongside her. I cried at the death of an innocent young girl. And at the cruel way my dad and the rest had died. I raced through the mansion swinging the hat-stand spear, yelling, "Come out here, you bastard." But I couldn't find any trace of anyone else. Thinking they might be planning to hide somewhere and attack me from behind, I went around searching for hiding places. Sometimes growing more cautious, and sometimes intentionally letting my guard down in various ways, but in the end, not even a kitten appeared. Then, morning came. My tension and fatigue, combined with my drowsiness, making for the worst kind of dawn. Humans are pretty incredible. Even when a murderer might be hiding somewhere, we prioritize drowsiness and fatigue over our own lives. By that time, I was starting to feel pretty ridiculous. After all, for a full 6 hours before dawn, I'd walked around the mansion, yelling at the culprits to show themselves. My search had been a careful one, and I'd tired myself out and let my guard down. Even so, no one came to attack me. Basically, I lost patience with them and figured they could do whatever the hell they wanted. The boat won't come until the typhoon passes. It said on TV that it won't pass until tomorrow, so I've got another full day today. Lazing about lost its interest, and even though I knew it would probably make the police mad, I decided to play detective a bit. First was the dining hall where the very first murder had occurred. The 6 who had been killed in the beginning really were pitiful. The weapon used was probably a gun. Maybe their heads were split open by something powerful like a magnum bullet or a shotgun. It was a reasonable theory to hold. Compared to that, the 7th corpse, Maria, had died in a much better and cleaner way. At a glance, I could see no external wounds and didn't understand how she'd been killed, but by her mouth were traces of bubbles that she might have spat out, and it looked like a typical death by poisoning that you might see in a TV drama. Wasn't Maria called out to the chapel and given a test? So, why was she in the corpse-filled dining hall, lying next to her mother, dead? Even if the cause of death was poison, who gave it to her? Her clothes weren't disturbed at all. It's hard to imagine that she was forcibly pushed down and given an injection of poison. It's probably better to assume that she was given a capsule of poison or something and then made to swallow it. But compared to these scattered and violently mutilated corpses in this room, Maria's corpse was too clean. If they had a gun, they only needed to pull the trigger. But poisoning, whether by having her drink it or by an injection, would take a lot more effort, considering the culprit's brutal nature. You'd think Maria's death alone was given special treatment. Why was only Maria given a sleep-like death? True, being killed is always a pitiful thing, but for some reason, Maria's death alone seemed very courteous to me. Both of Maria's hands were joined on her chest, as though the dead person had put them there herself. Did Maria do that herself before dying? Isn't this usually something done by someone else after the person dies? As though sleeping with her mother, whose head was half crushed, Maria dozed in peace. For some reason, that contrast really bugged me. Including the direct cause, it's probably safe to say that Maria's death is shrouded in mystery. And more than anything else, the biggest mystery of this dining hall was the pitfalls. And the pitfalls that both Uncle Krause's group and Goda-san's had mentioned. After the first 6 were killed, 5 more fell through pitfalls and were captured. What are pitfalls? Those things that suddenly open and you fall through them, right? The room had a solid floor with a carpet that looked dignified, if a bit worn out. No matter how you looked at it, it was a single piece. If a pitfall had opened up, there would have to be a seam just in that place. And if there had been some trick like a pitfall, wouldn't it creak when you walked on it? No matter how much I walked around feeling the carpet, I just couldn't imagine that a pitfall was hidden here. Anyway, it'd be one thing if a single person fell, but a full 5 people did. By putting together everyone's stories, each one of them had fallen from a different location. So at the very least, there had to be 5 separate places with pitfalls. So what does this mean? Was this room actually made with pitfalls across the entire floor? So by pushing a button, you could open a pitfall in the location of your choice. Some kind of contraption like that. That kind of ridiculous mechanism would be surprising even in a ninja mansion. But if Dad and the rest had heard about this, I wonder if they'd say, I wouldn't put it past Grandfather to do it. To make it. At any rate, I didn't learn anything more from the dining hall. Do the pitfalls not exist, or do they exist, but I just can't find them, amateur that I am? I can't say for sure. Since they claim that the pitfalls were there, I can't ignore them, even if I can't find them. Right now, I'm thinking that the entire pitfall thing is a 100% fabrication. And some people, possibly Krause, maybe not Krause, were forced to say that. Although, I just don't know by who or what. but I feel like Kirie has to be in on it, probably. The next ones to be killed were Jessica and George Aniki. I'd discovered George Aniki when I'd been called out for my test. He'd been called out to the arbor in the rose garden and probably shot in the forehead with a gun. Jessica had been called to her own room on the second floor of the mansion. The door to her room was locked, but that wasn't a problem at all since I had a master key. Inside the room, it was horrible. But after the dining hall, I was used to corpses, so I'd built up a bit of an immunity. The phone receiver was loose and dangling. Had she been killed while still on the phone with me? Jessica was leaning against the wall right next to it, with half of her head split open. Damn it. I can't get that right now. We'll look at it later. As far as I could tell by glancing at the scene, it looked as though she'd been killed while on the phone. In that case, had the culprit been right there before her eyes? I hadn't gotten that impression when listening to Jessica's voice over the phone. I'm pretty sure Jessica said, "They got me." It's probably best to assume that she'd already received a fatal wound at the time of the phone call. That's right, and she also said this. So she knew in advance that that would happen to her. Yes, that's what she said. From what I could tell by looking at Jessica's corpse, there were no wounds on her other than the damage to her head. Could she have had an injury serious enough to make her prepared for death and then died halfway through the phone call? The way she talked on the phone made me think that she'd escaped harm for the time being. You shouldn't be able to have a casual conversation over a phone if the culprit's right before your eyes. So, did the culprit come in partway through the phone call and kill Jessica? No, that can't be right. After all, this room was locked. Wait, that doesn't tell me anything. If the culprit stole a master key from one of the victims, locking the door would be meaningless. But she had no external wounds other than her head. In that case, should I assume that the fatal wound she was prepared to die from and the actual external wound that damaged her head were two different things, and that both of them were made to the same part of the body? In other words, Jessica was struck severely to the head and received an incredibly bad wound. Then she called me and either lost consciousness or died while on the phone. Then the culprit came and damaged her head again, something like that. After being called to this room, Jessica was attacked by the culprit and received a serious injury. Then the culprit thought she'd been killed and went away for the time being. But Jessica miraculously started breathing again and called me with what would become her dying message. Then the culprit realized that they'd failed to kill her and rushed back to deliver the final blow after Jessica fell unconscious from massive blood loss. That seems to add up, more or less, except for how Jessica was able to accurately predict the nature of that final blow. And there was one more thing that bugged me about the phone call from Jessica. Jessica had said this. Yeah, she seemed to know that somehow. She said it almost as though she'd witnessed George Aniki being killed. But while you certainly could see the rose garden from the window in Jessica's room, and you could even see the roof of the arbor where George Aniki had been summoned, it was very far away. And on the fact that it was the night of the typhoon, and it's very hard to imagine that she was able to witness everything that happened by the arbor from this window. But more than anything else, Jessica left before George Aniki, so she shouldn't have known that George Aniki's test took place by the arbor. My guess would be that whoever was around, maybe the killer around Jessica, probably just told her that George also died. So she didn't necessarily know it firsthand, but she could have just known it from being told. Why did Jessica know that George Onigi had been killed? Also, during my search of the entire mansion, I found Kirie-san's corpse as well. You know, I do have to wonder, though, why Kirie would stubbornly keep up an act to, like, the moment of her death. Like, what would be in it for her if she was so, like... I don't know. Her corpse was found in a guest room deep within the mansion. There was a single hole right in the center of her forehead. It's probably reasonable to assume she was shot with a gun or something similar. A demon stake was buried in the hole in her forehead, but it's hard to imagine that this was the cause of death. I didn't miss. I missed on purpose to tease her. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure why she would lie when she's about to die. Maybe whoever she was collaborating with betrayed her, and she didn't actually think that she would actually die. She thought that she would survive somehow, but I don't know. It was in one of the old guest rooms at the back of the first floor. In the past, before the construction of the guest house, the relatives had spent the nights in these. Kirie-san's situation matched Jessica's perfectly. She'd probably been killed during her phone call with me. The receiver was hanging untidily, and Kirie-san lay crumpled in that corner. But the way she had been killed was very different from Jessica. Her head wasn't smashed. Instead, a stake with an occult design was buried into her forehead. It was so gruesome, so I pulled it out. After pulling it out, I realized this might get me in trouble with the police later. So, a little too late, I set it down by Kirie-san's side. Its tip was sharp and stained with enough blood that it must have penetrated fully to the brain. I didn't know what kind of metal it was made of, but it was about as heavy as a paperweight. Certainly, if you were stabbed all out with something like this, it might cause a terrible wound. I probably knew what that stake meant. It's one of those. The style of killing from the fourth twilight onwards in the witch's epitaph. It's probably that gouge with a stake and kill thing. However, a human skull is very firm. No matter how much someone mustered their strength, could it really have been pierced so neatly? No. By my reasoning, the stake wasn't the cause of death, but had just been used to damage the corpse after death. So she was probably killed with a gun or something, like George Onigi. And the stake had been stuck into the hole left by the gun. Thinking of it that way makes it easier to accept. But was Kirie-san really killed with a gun? As she said on the phone, even though she was holed up inside a locked room, Kirie-san was being attacked. In fact, this room had been locked. Also, she mentioned a golden thread or something flying in and attacking her. In fact, there were 4 places around Kirie-san's corpse with holes that could have been caused by some kind of attack. Really? Wow. That's pretty damning. But a golden thread attacked her through the keyhole? I looked at the door from Kirie-san's perspective. If it had been one of those old keyholes you see in old mystery movies, where you can peek through to the other side, then it would have clearly been possible to stick something through it. But even though the doors in this mansion were old-fashioned, the locks were familiar, average cylinder style that you could find in any normal house. In other words, they weren't constructed in a way that would let you penetrate through them. So no matter how thin an object you might try to stick through the keyhole, it's unthinkable that something penetrated through from the outside and attacked. A cylinder lock and a keyhole. But despite that, Kirie-san definitely said that something like a golden thread had flown in through the keyhole, spun around while aiming for her, and attacked her. A golden thread attacking through a keyhole. I couldn't understand what it meant at all. But even so, Kirie-san probably predicted that I wouldn't be able to understand all this. And it wasn't just Kirie-san. Jessica said it over the phone, too. No, since the very beginning, from the time we talked with Goda-san and Kumasawa-san and got the phone call from Uncle Krause's group, Everyone has said the same consistent thing. Grandfather summoned witches and demons and is killing people with magic. They'd been shown that right before their eyes. These weren't tricks or fakes. There was no choice but to believe it. With one voice, they had all said that. Well, no, there is another choice. You can just say that they're all lying. The question is, why would they all lie? That I have no idea. When the mystery woman calling herself Beatrice appeared, even I had pretty much believed that she was a real witch and might start summoning goat monsters left and right. However, after being left alone for a whole day, my feeling of tension had faded completely. I was now able to think that something so stupid definitely couldn't be true. Did they lose their heads a little in an extraordinary situation where their lives were exposed to danger, and mistakenly think that a witch was attacking them with magic? But multiple people gave the same kind of testimony, and on top of that, none of their opinions conflicted each other. If it had just been a single statement, I'd be able to suspect that they just didn't see what they thought they saw. But doing that now is pretty difficult. Then, right next to the back door, I found Uncle Kraus with his head half smashed. Interesting that his corpse has been moved here. His corpse was found in a guest room deep within the mansion. About half of his head was destroyed. It's probably reasonable to assume that he was murdered with a powerful gun or something similar. A demon stake was buried into the damaged area. No one can escape from the Chester's golden arrows. Yeah, so it seems like the same as most of the other corpses. Even though he'd escaped the dungeon of Kuadorian, somehow made it this far by a secret underground passage, he had been killed. Buried into the gruesome cross-section of his half-crushed head was a stake with an occult design, like the one that had been buried into Kirie-san's forehead. And in this situation, it was very hard to imagine that the stake was the weapon used. He had been killed with a powerful gun, like the 6 in the dining hall. And after death had been jabbed with a stake like Kirie-san. I wonder if the golden threads that Kirie-san spoke of attacked Uncle Kraus, too. Does there exist some kind of tool, like an endoscope, that's very thin but can be moved about at will, and that can also attack people? No way, I've never heard of anything like that. But even so, if this fact had been revealed to one of the relatives, maybe they'd say, I wouldn't put it past Grandfather to make it. Since I can't deny the existence of Golden Thread X that can be moved at will and attack people, I can neither accept that this mysterious weapon exists, or else I'll have to accept that this was a murder committed with magic. To find the next corpse, I had to go out through the back door and search around outside a bit. Behind the mansion in the wild-grown bushes that were almost swallowed up by the forest, there was something like an old well. And right next to it were Dr. Nanjo and Shannon's corpses. Damn it. Both corpses had their heads smashed. And though they weren't stuck in, there were stakes lying right next to each damaged head. Each corpse was atrocious, but having to look directly at Shannon-chan's lovely face, which had been half blown away, was very painful. Then there was the well. I'd heard that inside it was a secret underground passage to the mysterious mansion Kuadorian. By this time I'd begun to think that Beatrice and her accomplices might have used this underground passage and left for Kuadorian. Even though there had apparently been at least 10 of them, I hadn't seen a trace of anyone. It seemed very likely that they'd already escaped to a different location. There's the typhoon. I can't go out to sea. It goes the same for the forest. There's no way they could traverse such a deep, uncultivated forest on foot. In that case, they had only one place to go. The mysterious hidden mansion, Kuwadorian. Through the secret underground passage at the bottom of the well. By this time, I had entirely lost my fear of being killed if I happened to come across the enemy. Don't fuck with me. This time I'll storm into your mansion. The old well had a firm cover on it. The cover was an iron grill. The gaps between the bars were perhaps 20 centimeters across. You could peer inside, but it really wasn't something a human could pass through. If I hadn't known better, I would have thought it anything more than a simple cover to prevent falls. But from what Kirie-san had told me, I knew that its purpose was to prevent intruders from entering the secret underground passage in its depths. But the cover was extremely firm and rigid, and no matter how much I pushed or pulled, I couldn't even get close to opening it. I couldn't find any obvious lock. It might be sealed by some mechanism. No matter how much I investigated it, I couldn't find anything to release it. The biggest piece of information Kirie-san had tried to give me, gambling her final moments, was the underground passage in this well. I had an idea. After all, I'd seen the various tools in the gardening shed when we'd locked Goda-san and Kumasawa-san in there. But the shutter to the gardening shed was locked. Alright, so we can actually read these now. So, Jessica's corpse was found in a room on the second floor of the mansion. About half of her head was destroyed. It's probably reasonable to assume she was murdered with a powerful gun or something similar. She was smashed by her own attack due to George's counter-offensive specialized barrier. Family Dr. Nanjo, his corpse was found behind the mansion. About half of his head was destroyed. A demon stake had fallen near the body. Shannon. Her corpse was found behind the mansion. About half of her head was destroyed. It's probably reasonable to assume that she was murdered with a powerful gun or something similar. A demon stake had fallen near the body. The witnesses at least realized that the stake wasn't what killed her. On top of that, the key was with Goda-san, who was dead on the inside. In other words, this gardening shed was a closed room. There's no way to open it from on the outside. In that case, I've got to break the shutter. There has to be a tool for that somewhere. Kind of feels like I'm going in circles here. Then, while searching for that, I learned the source of the stench that had permeated the mansion this whole time was the underground boiler room. The boiler room was dimly lit, humid, smelled horrible, and on top of that was incredibly creepy. But there were several large tools there, and I managed to find a fire hatchet and some massive wire cutters. And grandfather's corpse. His body was found as a burnt corpse in the underground boiler room's incinerator. No evidence of a struggle was found inside the incinerator, so it's probably reasonable to assume that he was burned after his murder, or that he just stepped in there willingly. Dust to dust, ashes to ashes, the dead to the dead. Now, strictly speaking, I should probably say that I found a burnt corpse of a person who was probably grandfather. Someone's corpse had been stuffed into the blazing fires of the boiler. However, by coincidence, I was able to notice the number of toes on the corpse. Both feet had 6 toes. That's right, I think I heard it from Dad sometime long ago. Something about grandfather having polydactyly with extra toes, according to old Ushidamiya family tradition. It seemed that those with extra fingers or toes had some kind of good fortune and were treated as a good omen. And because of that, grandfather was selected to be the successor or something. But I wonder if I can be certain that this is Grandfather's body just from the number of toes. After all, Grandfather was supposed to be the leader of the group of culprits. I didn't have a clue why he'd get stuffed into a boiler in a place like this and die. A mysterious corpse, burning and spitting out a terrible stench amid the flames. If it really was Grandfather, did that mean that the leader of the group of culprits wasn't Grandfather, but that Beatrice after all? Grandfather was used because he was convenient and was thrown away. Unfortunately, it didn't look like I'd be given a chance to hear Grandfather's side of the story. So we cannot take for granted the fact that Kinzo is alive, because we never heard his voice and we never saw him personally. The only people who claim to have saw him that we spoke to are Kirie, Kraus, and Goda and Kumasawa. Now that I had obtained a tool, I thought about rushing to take on the cover to the well, but I decided to break the shutter to the gardening shed first. I had plenty of time to kill anyway. I figured I should check on the condition of Goda-san's and Kumasawa-san's corpses. I hit the shutter with the hatchet, breaking into it, stuck the wire cutter into the crack, and scissored it around, opening up a hole. Then I faced Goda-san and Kumasawa-san's corpses once more. Damn it. As a result, I learned a new fact. First, they had not died by being hung by the neck. Both of their feet were solidly on the floor. And both of their foreheads were signs that they'd been shot with a gun. The loop seemed longer than a normal noose. On top of that, the length was different on each to match the height of each person. In other words, the lengths had been adjusted so that both Goda-san, who was tall, and Kumasawa-san, who was short, had their feet solidly but barely on the ground. Alright, I got it. The suicides that Battler saw earlier were fake. They were fake. These guys were playing dead. They were not dead. Their feet were on the ground the whole time. The nooses were adjusted to make it so that they just looked like they were dead, but they were not. And that means that Kumasawa and Goda are accomplices of the culprit, and by giving the key to the culprit through the window, they could have escaped and they could have done various things to help with the murders. So, yeah, it seems that that's one aspect of this, one puzzle piece that I'm pretty sure of. But I'm not sure why they were killed. I guess they were disposed of after the fact because they knew too much, but I don't know. But this part, at least, is not too difficult. Also, while the ropes carried both of their weights as their heads lolled, both of them had some slack below their knees. This meant that if they'd stood up with these extra loops around their necks, there would have been some extra length. In other words, these loops wouldn't have been that great for hanging people. The direct cause of death was probably a shot to the head. It was gruesome. Their insides were still dripping out from those gaping holes, staining their faces with a deep red. It's probably best to assume that they were then hung, pulled up, and left exposed like that. If they'd been shot with a gun, they probably would have been lying down on the floor. If that had been the case, you wouldn't have been able to tell that they were dead even if you peeked through the window. The mountain of stuff would have gotten in the way, so if they'd been lying down, they would have been hidden. To make the deaths of these two known to the rest of us who couldn't go inside, they would have had to hang them like this, making it visible from the outside. Was this done to get back at us for thinking that those two would surely be safe if we left the key with them? Wonder where the shutter key we gave Goda-san, which should have ensured their safety, is now. That key was in the pocket of his trousers. The gardening shed key had been kindly left there, and even the plate was attached. In other words, the gardening shed had been a closed room after all. I guess there's now the question of how they got the key back in his pocket. Maybe they used some kind of wire or thread and fished it into the pocket through the window, I guess. Maybe. That's like the only thing I can guess. And that gave rise to another question, because this can't be explained by a hanging. If they didn't commit suicide, then those nooses were set up by the culprit. Oh, they definitely came in here. They definitely came in here to murder them. Or, like, Kumasawa and, like, this gardening shed was not a locked room the entire time. It only became a locked room after the culprit was done with them. It might have been possible to shoot them through the window, but it's really unthinkable that someone could have tied 2 loops to the beam from the outside. And furthermore, there's no way they could have lifted up the heavy corpses. In other words, to do all of this, they would have had to go inside. But the key was in Goto-san's pocket, and the shutter had been locked. In other words, the gardening shed had been a closed room. Goto-san said that there was only one key to this shutter. But is it possible there was a copy and that the culprit was in possession of it? If we're allowed to theorize that there actually was a duplicate of the gardening storehouse key and that Goto-san just didn't know about it, then this isn't even close to a closed room. But why is it that despite the fact that almost all of the other corpses were shot to death and left almost completely alone, just these 2 corpses were intentionally hoisted up? It was specifically so that Battler would see them and think that they were dead. Maybe other people as well, maybe not just Battler. I couldn't help but feel something a bit odd about that. After this, if we assume the mystery corpse in the boiler was grandfather's, the deaths of 16 people have been confirmed. There were 18 people on this island. I'm here, and there were 16 corpses. So the only person we haven't confirmed the death of is Kanon. Which is weird, he should have been with the others. Let's see. Kumasawa. Her corpse was found in the Rose Garden storehouse. It's assumed that she was hung by the neck after being shot in the forehead. As long as I can construct a closed-room murder, nothing else mattered. Someone's got like a real fetish for closed-room murders. Servant Goda, his corpse was found in the Rose Garden storehouse. It's assumed that he was hung by the neck after being shot in the forehead. They put ropes around their own necks. That can be a pretty interesting experience now and then. See, it feels like it's just giving us the answer there, that they did willingly put the ropes around their own necks. At least at one point in time, but obviously not after they were dead. Kanon-kun's corpse is the only one I haven't been able to confirm. According to Kirie-san, he had been killed while climbing out of the well and had fallen down into it. So with the well closed up like this, it's impossible to check. I tried shining a flashlight through the bars down into the darkness in the depths of the well, but it seemed that the jet black darkness had no intention of showing me its depths with a light of that level. It looked like I'd have to break the bars after all. Using the hatchets and things I dragged from the boiler room and the gardening shed, I tried breaking the cover of the well. But the metal bars were extraordinarily sturdy, and breaking them wasn't easy. I hit them with the hatchet over and over until my hands started feeling weird, and eventually gave up on breaking them. I think Kanon is a red herring, but he's still something we have to keep in mind, because we can disassemble most of this by saying, like, Kanon was the culprit in blue. But that's only one possibility. And she could easily just cut that down with the red. It's impossible. If there were at least wood, I might have been able to break them. But this metal... That's right, there's no way you can slice through metal bars like butter with a human's strength. I can't even begin to understand that story about how Kanon-kun cut through metal bars. I heard that a light, like a red laser beam, grew out of his arm. and that he sliced through the metal bars like he was cutting through butter. Cutting through metal bars like butter. What's with the red laser beam? Does that mean he secretly had a burner on him or something? And used that to burn through the bars? Still, just what kind of laser could cut through metal bars like butter? It almost sounds like the kind of laser beam you'd find in those robot anime I'd loved as a kid, doesn't it? Does something like that actually exist? And how did Kanon-kun get that laser beam? No matter how much I want to ask him, he's already been killed. Plus, even his corpse is now in the depths of the well beyond this cover. If Kanon-kun could slice through metal bars, I'm sure he could handle this metal cover in a single swing. It feels just like the closed room Goda-san was locked in while holding the key. Only one person can open the door, but they're locked inside. If only I had that power of Kanon-kun's, I'd be able to do something about this cover myself. Just who is Kanon-kun? Couldn't really be a non-human capable of using a strange power, right? Kirie-san told me to believe in witches, and I even met an insane woman calling herself one. Could Kanon-kun possibly be a human on the witch's side? Or else, the culprit? What the heck? Am I gonna start treating him like the culprit just because I can't find his corpse? He's dead, but she didn't say when he died, so... Damn it. Alright, well, there we go. At a glance, this was a mass murder due to something strange that could only be thought of as magic. Golden threads that attacked through keyholes. No, we even have testimony that something gold flew around the dining hall when the first 6 died. Well, the testimony of Kumasawa and Goda is not reliable, because, I'm pretty sure that they were accomplices. The two might have been the same weapon. Then there was the closed room murder of the garden shed and the laser beams that could cut metal bars. And that wasn't all. There was much, much more, like the group of goat monsters, the story of a witch who could create pitfalls just by snapping her fingers, the rabbit-like demons who had fired golden threads. I think there was more, but each part was all screwed up. I couldn't possibly accept it, and was forced to suspect that it was some kind of trick or mistake. But why in the world had everyone spoken with one voice, saying the same thing without contradictions in their testimony? It's not only the magic. There's Maria's mysterious death. Why Jessica knew that George Aniki had been killed. The mysterious burnt corpse that I couldn't confirm really belonged to that damn geezer. And more and more. All stuff I don't get. I tilted the wine bottle up and gulped. I don't have a clue what's going on. After dinner last night, the kids were chased out and told to go back to the guest house. Then there was a massacre in the dining hall. Kirie-san and the rest were dropped through pitfalls and captured. Then Jessica and George Aniki were called out to take a test or whatever, and killed. Even though Kirie-san's group was able to escape the dungeon somehow, all of them got killed in the end. And at the very, very end, even Maria was killed, leaving me all alone. In short, I did nothing except stay locked up in the guest house. During that time, a huge incident occurred and ended. What can I call it except incomprehensible? I don't have a clue anymore.
もう俺はただの食欲魔人なんだぜ。俺だけ生き残らせるつもりかよ。とっとと姿を現して殺しに来いってんだ。もう面倒だからこっちからは探さねえぞ。そっちから正体を見せやがるってんだ。俺は逃げも隠れもしねえぞ。矢でも鉄砲でも持ってきやがれ。
I haven't gotten any sleep since yesterday, so I'm incredibly sleepy. You want to kill me? Go ahead. I decided to return to the guest house and boldly rest in a bed. When I exited the kitchen and passed through the lobby, that portrait of the witch came into view. The big clock did too. It was almost exactly midnight. Then the sound of the bell rang out, proclaiming that midnight had arrived. As I listened, I looked up at Beatrice's portrait. Exactly 24 hours ago, I met you. What were you trying to say, and where did you go? Just who in the world are you? Golden Witch, Beatrice. I haven't solved a single one of the riddles surrounding you. Show yourself and fight me. Then, the witch showed herself. Like a guest of honor finally appearing, she showed herself on the landing at the top of the big staircase.
ようやく姿を現しやがったな。丸一日。退屈させられてたところだぜ。
I feel like these little flower ornamentations around the screen might signify that this isn't really happening. I don't know. Might just be like an alcohol-fueled delusion here. I don't know. But I prefer to think that's not the case.
そうだ。丸一日を与えた。
Or it's just they're talking about what's happening, but it's not actually the battler in the peace battler that's talking.
人間側の権利行使は十分か。
ああ。退屈だったんでな。存分にやらせてもらったぜ。
エンジェは良い駒だ。
エンジェの名をお前が口にするんじゃね
あれは奇跡によって現れ、自らを生贄にしてそなたに絶対の勝利の執念を与
え。エンジェの名を口にするな。
あの無残な死は、そなたあの死を見なければそなたは本気にならない。エンジェの幸薄き未来を自覚しなければそなたに勝利の執念は生まれない。
エンジェの名を口にするなと言っている。
つまりは必要な生贄だったというわけだ。そうでなくてはそなたにわらわを殺すほどの怒りは生まれない。わらわとそなたの拮抗が崩せない。ベルンカステル教名、これは駒ではないわ。切り札と呼ぶがふさわしい。駒はどれほど活躍しようと盤上を離れることはない。しかし切り札はどんな力を発揮しようとも切れば確実に捨てられる。エンジェはそなたにとって実に良き切り札だったのだ。
エンジェの名を口にするんじゃな。
At Battler's angry roar, Beto finally stopped talking.
俺はな、こんなところで遊んでる暇はもう一切ねえんだ。引き分けすらも園長を待たせてる。俺はな、家族を連れて家に帰るんだよ。てめえと魔女ごっこで遊んでる暇は一秒たりともありはしない。
ならばどうすればよいか分かっている。
ああ、お前をぶっ倒す。魔女も魔法も幻想も妄想も全て俺がぶっ飛ばす。さあ、おっ始めようぜ。もう二度とごまかさせない。ゲーム再開だぜ。お前という嘘っぱちを追う魔女のベールを俺が引き裂いてやる。
素直に一言、わらわを殺してやると言えばよい。
ああ、その言葉をお望みなら言ってやるさ。俺が聞いてやるお前の望みで最初で最後のものだ。
感謝する。
お前も。
ならばよし、始めようぞバトラー。さあ、魔女狩りの時間だ。わらわを追ってみろ、追い詰めてみろ、殺してみろ。わらわはそなたに期待している。妹の最後がそなたに何を与えたのか、それをわらわに見せてみよ。
上等だ。
Battler's cry burned the world with a white light, and if you opened your eyes amidst the darkness, the two of them could be seen in a rose garden.
先手はどちらから。
俺だ。
潔し。
In the rose garden, beautiful rose petals danced. The color of those rose petals was red. Did the fact that they faced each other in this beautiful rose garden prove or make claim to a red single truth? That must be why the roses are red. But in the language of flowers, roses represent passion, not truth. A flower for truth is a forget-me-not, and that flower is blue.
俺の青き真実だ。全てをうがつ。全て一番最初から、一番最初のゲームから始めるぜ。
よかろう。そなたのお手並みを拝見しよう。来い。
行くぜ。すでに宣言済みだが、もう一度言う。こいつは前回のゲームの南條先生の殺人だけじゃないぜ。一番最初からあらゆるゲームのあらゆる場面を切り裂ける。後宮金蔵はすでに死亡している。よって島の本当の人数は17人。そこに未知の人物 X が加わることで18人となっている。この人物 X の存在の過程によって17人全員にアリバイがあっても犯行は可能になる。
I get the feeling that this would be too easy if it were true, but I'd like it to be true.
これにより人間の数18人を満たしつつにもかかわらず、意見18人全員にアリバイがあっても犯人 X の存在と犯行は可能になる。
You can break through all of the murders in episode 1 by supposing an unknown person X. Furthermore, it's even possible to explain the mystery of Kinza's evaporation from the closed room sealed by the receipt, by making the bold assumption that Kinza wasn't there in the first place. Unless Beato counters this with the red truth, the illusion of the witch from episode 1 has been completely smashed. This blue truth is valid. The wedge of blue truth that the battler had thrown stabbed right through the top of Beato's left foot. Was the red blood pouring out from there, a protest being made by her red truth? Beto shut out one of her eyes tight, enduring the unbearable pain of the blue truth that denied her.
悪くない。だがまだまだわらわは否定されてはおらぬ。殺されてはおらぬ。この程度では足りぬ。続くゲームではそれだけで説明できる謎がある。
どの謎だ？
第2のゲームの終盤でジョージがゴーダとシャノンを引き継ぎ夏日の部屋に立てこもり殺された。夏日の部屋を解錠した鍵は室内に閉じ込められ、残る全ての解錠可能な鍵はローザの手にある。犯人 X が存在しようと密室構築は不可能だった。
The blue wedge that pierced Beto shook. She was resisting, fighting to pull it out.
いいや、俺の青き真実は揺るがない。犯人 X がマスターキーを入手していれば、あれは密室でも何でもないんだ。
いいや、入手は不可能だ。マスターキーすべてはローザが管理した。
だがローザおばさんが共犯であったなら何の意味もない。ローザおばさんは犯人 X に何らかの方法で鍵を渡し密室殺人を幇助した。
Yeah, I guess she's just doing some wordplay there. But I do think Rosa was the culprit in episode 2.
そしてその後同様の方法で鍵を回収したんだ。甘いぜベアート。こんなのは当時の俺もすでに推理している。
そうであったな。
The wedge that had been gradually losing its sparkle, and that seemed as though it was about to be pulled out, regained its strong blue again thanks to Battler's additional blue truth, and dug into Beto again, eating into her foot. Beto let out a cry of anguish at that pain.
まだ答えぬ。まだだ。まだだ。
さらに続けて6連結の連鎖密室。ローザおばさんとマリアの殺人、親父たちのホールでの死亡、クラウスおじさんと夏日おばさんの殺人。エヴァおばさんを犯人に仮定することで説明可能だ。これは当時すでに論破済み。
But then there's still Nanjo.
それに対しお前がエヴァを通して出題してきた最後の難題。
But that can be proposed, or that can be resolved with the extra person X that we get through Kinza's death, assuming that Beatrice doesn't just shatter that beneath us.
南條先生殺し、18人目の未知の人物 X で説明可能。これで第3のゲームまで全て打ち破ったぞ。
無論この程度答えはせぬ。ならばゲストハウスからのジョージの失踪はどう説明するというのか。赤き真実を追加し、ジョージはゲストハウスの階段を降りてはおらぬ。
Okay, so he went out the window.
窓から飛び去ったの。
In the final stages of the third game, George suddenly vanished from the second floor of the guest house. Ava, who had been on the first floor, claimed that no one had come downstairs, but because of the blue truth, George could have snuck down to the first floor and escaped while Ava was busy carrying Krause's and Natsuhi's corpses outside. But by adding an additional red truth, Beto had denied that possibility. To go outside without going down the staircase to the first floor, he would have had to leave by the window. But all of the windows had been locked from the inside.
だからなんだ。お前の言葉通りだぞ。窓から飛び去ったんだろ。下へ飛び降りても芝生じゃわからないし。あの大雨だ。多少の痕跡なんて消えちまう。
赤き真実を繰り返す。外部へ通ずる窓も扉も全て内側より施錠されていた。しかもそれらの施錠は全て外側からは不可能。
Well, we never heard that Ava didn't come up the stairs, so it's not as if she still couldn't have assisted George with that whole escape.
ジョージには施錠する術はない。
青き真実を繰り返す。当時の俺も言っているぜ。ならばジョージの兄貴が窓より脱出後、誰かがそれを施錠すればいい。何も難しいことはない。
Beto couldn't remove the blue wedge that was buried into her foot. The fake witch was burned more and more by that forceful blue.
第3のゲームまでの全てにおいて青き真実は未だ揺るがない。ならお前が魔女であることを証明する唯一のゲームは今回の
わらわが赤き真実にて反撃していない以上、そういうことになる。
So basically she's saying that she has something up her sleeve here.
この度のゲームでのみ魔女を証明せねばならない。よく存分に来るがよ。
食堂の6人殺しについて不審な点はない。18人目の X が銃を乱射してみんなを殺した。落とし穴については実際に落とし穴が本当に隠されていた可能性もあるし、桐江さんの仮説である瞬時に混沌させる毒矢の発射装置 X の過程でも説明可能。ジョージの兄貴ジェシカ、そして地下牢から脱出したメンバーの殺害も食堂と同じで銃によるもの。不審な点はない。だが分かってるぜ。反来いよ。
そなたの最大の刃である18人目の X。そう来ることはわらわも分かっている。
Uh-oh. Is she gonna cut that down right now?
だから金蔵を書斎より出した。この金蔵を親族会議の全員が迎えたぞ。親族会議に居合わせた全員が金蔵の存在を認めた。
They did, but that doesn't mean that they weren't in on it.
そうだな。だがじい様はずっと視線をさまよって寝込んでいた重病人ってことになってるぜ。やつれてて別人に見えちまってもみんな気にしないかもな。俺はこう返す。そのじい様は別人の替え玉だ。親族たちがじい様と見間違えた別人だ。
ならばわらわはこう返す。全ての人物後ろ宮金蔵を見間違わない。いかなる変装であったとしても後ろ宮金蔵を見間違わない。
ならばこう返す。お前は第一のゲーム時では5本以上存在することになっていたマスターキーの本数、第2のゲーム時に赤き真実で5本と宣言することで以後のゲームの設定変更を行っている。同じことで第4のゲームにおいて金蔵の生死の設定が変更されている可能性がある。よって第4のゲームの金蔵の存在をもってそれ以前のゲームでの金蔵の存在を証明することにはならない。よって 食堂での6人殺しはじい様が自ら執行したと仮定しても何の矛盾も生じない。
ならばこう返そうぜ。4つのゲーム開始時の金蔵の性質設定は全て同一である。
Okay, I'm gonna guess that he is dead at the start of all 4 games.
第4のゲームのみ設定が異なることはない。
Because she's being really evasive here and trying to twist it around when she could just say that he was alive. But it's like she either really wants him to flounder around or she's just trying to get him to think that he's alive, but he's not.
副賞要求。各ゲームの開始時に金蔵は生存している。
副賞拒否。答えぬよバト。わらはそなたに望まれて赤き真実を答えを忘れに来た。
くそ、じじいね。
Yeah, even if she doesn't answer that,
塞がりやがる。
even if she doesn't answer that, it still doesn't kill her because she's still got the idea that all the relatives acknowledged him as being there.
我が最愛の魔女ベアトリーチェを守るために体を張ってやがるってのか。
Swaying, that damn geezer came into view. Huh. Is he trying to be some kind of knight, blocking the path between me and Beato?
バトラよ、お前にこのわしが超えられるかな。至らせぬ、至らせはせぬよ、黄金の魔女の高みにはな。お前の浅はかな推理など私一人を超えることもできぬわ。死ねい。
Kinza's jet black cape spread as though it would swallow the world, becoming the snout of a vast black dragon that came at me trying to swallow me in one gulp. Faced with that black dragon's roar, I calmed my breathing and closed my eyes lightly.
お前なぞ一息に飲み込んでくれるわ。消え去れ、未熟者め。
黙りな。死に損ないの亡霊ね。
ほう、わしを亡霊呼ばわりしてみせるか。あくまでもわしはすでに死んでおるとする仮説を貫くか。それがお前の命取りよ。第4のゲームの第1の番にて闇に飲み込まれて消え去るがよい。
The black dragon's vast mouth, its snout, its fangs, swallowed Battler whole. In that instant, Battler suddenly opened his eyes.
ありがとうよ、ベアトリーチェ。お前の第3のゲーム、俺の反撃の足がかりとなる。あばよ、クソじじい、こいつでお別れだぜ。俺は金蔵死亡説が第4のゲームでも主張できる根拠として以下の仮説を提唱する。
よかろう、存分に来るがよい。我が末裔よ。
行くぜ、クソじじい。金蔵の名は後ろ宮家当主の称号として引き継がれているという仮説だ。
Maybe? That would be one way of explaining it.
後宮金蔵はすでに死んでいる。そしてその名を誰かが継承した。全員が承認した。それにより親族会議に居合わせた全員が金蔵の存在を認めた。
So maybe Beatrice is Kinzo?
じい様の変装をする必要さえもないのさ。 一同が新しい金像を認めたのだから。
But I have a feeling she's gonna cut this down because I don't know. I don't know about this one.
よって見間違えるわけもない。以上の仮説が否定されない限り、お前が死んでいるという字、これでとどめだぜ。クソじじい、お前に副賞要求だ。全人物の中で異なる複数の名前を持つ人物は存在しない。
That one, she's not going to be able to deny, but she might have another way of countering this. I just have a feeling that she's not going to be able to deny that. I'm not sure why, but I feel like there's some stuff going on with multiple names. Actually, I'm pretty sure we can already claim that, because we've got Shannon and Canon who both have multiple different names, right? So...
安らかに眠りな。クソじじい、感謝しろよ。お前やっと死ねたんだぜ。こいつが陰謀だ。食らってくたばりな。後宮金蔵はすでに死亡している。そうさ、あんたは気の毒だよな。その死体が見つかる場合、いつも丸焼けだ。それは死後が経過している死体であることを悟られないための工作なのさ。
Yeah, that was my theory, that the reason that it's always burnt all the time is to hide not the identity, but the time of death, basically. And that's probably why it smells so bad, too.
そしてその名を誰かが受け継いだ。以上の仮説で、てめえは死亡しているにもかかわらず、金蔵は親族会議に登場することができる。
I don't buy the name being passed on, though. That seems pretty far-fetched. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one.
どうだよ、これだ、チェックメイトだ。
Several dozen blue stakes bored into Kinzo's ghost. Their terrible destructive power wouldn't let the ghost recover again. Dispersing along with the shadow of the black dragon as golden flower petals scattered, Ushidamiya Kinzo became a gold-colored cyclone and disappeared. Even after death, he had fought for the sake of the woman he'd loved. There's no doubting that your love and madness were the real thing.
恨むな。死者は眠らせろ。起こすな。次こそは。これでお前も最後だ。
Beto still couldn't pull out the blue wedge that pierced her foot. She realized that she was on the verge of death.
お前には随分と付き合ったぜ。お前の遊び相手としての義理は十分果たしたはずだ。だが、そろそろお片付けの時間だぜ。家で寂しがり屋の妹が待ってるんだ。家族揃っておいとまさせてもらうぜ。
ならば殺せ。ならばわらわを殺してみせよ。逃げも隠れもせん。今や避けることもかなわぬ。
I have a feeling that Beatrice is giving up here. I feel like there's more to it than Battler's theory here, but she's just kind of letting him win. Because she can't counteract his claims, because it would give too much else away or something. I don't know.
来い！後宮バトラー！
おう！金蔵死亡説による18人目の X により残り全てを貫く。 第4のゲームにおけるジョージの兄貴とジェシカの死も X が犯人で説明できる。地下牢から逃げて殺された5人も園芸倉庫の2人も最後のマリアも全て18人目の X で説明できる。何もおかしなことはない。以上にて全てのゲームにおける犯人の説明を人間にて完了する。ベアトリーチェ、これだ。チェックメイトだ。
See, the problem here is that we know that there are 4 more episodes of this, so we know that this can't be all there is to it. I mean, obviously, there's also the matter of, like, who did everything, but I think that's kind of pretty obvious, is that or at least following Balor's theories here, is that in the first game, it was the mysterious person X, who would be Beatrice, the Beatrice that he met on the balcony in Game 4. And in Game 2, actually. Then there is, in Game 2, Rosa would be the culprit, and she would have an accomplice, maybe among the servants, or several accomplices among the servants. Then in Game 3, we've got the mysterious person X, who, going by Battler's theory, which I'm not so sure on, I mean, Game 3, wait. Game 3 was Ava as the culprit, and then also the mysterious person X as another culprit. But then we've got Game 4, which I don't know. I'm not buying Battler's theory here. I don't think that, the mysterious person X just became Kinzo and everyone just acknowledged that, yep, you're Kinzo. I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. Because, like, the way everyone talked about it, they said Kinzo killed everyone. They didn't say some person claiming to be Kinzo killed everyone. They didn't say this person who has inherited the name Kinzo killed everyone. They said Kinzo killed everyone. So why would they say it that way if it was like that? That's my main sticking point here. Beatrice, who couldn't dodge, had several blue stakes driven into her and was skewered. Beto grabbed at them, trying to pull them out somehow. With both hands, Beato firmly grasped one of the blue stakes. Naturally, the power of the witch-denying blue truth burned her hands. Unable even to hide her tears at the pain, Beato howled and tried to pull the stakes out with all her might. That would mean that in the second game we think Rosa was the culprit, so maybe Rosa had another one and just gave you the other marshmallow to give to Maria. I don't know about that. I think that she could have been lying. She was probably in league with the culprit, so certainly at that time, Rosa witnessed gold butterflies gathering and the fixing of a marshmallow by the miracle of magic.
ローザ一人の目撃では信憑性がないであろう。
I mean, we can also say Maria witnessed it, but...
だからわらわはその目撃者を極限まで増やしたのだ。それこそが今回のゲームよ。我が眷属たちの召喚、そして魔法による虐殺、それらの全てを大勢の人間たちに目撃させた。それこそが我が魔法の存在する証明。これをどう説明するのか。後ろ宮バトラー。
ステイルメイト。魔法があるから魔法はある。そういう論法にはできないってのが俺たちのブラウン管裁判のルールのはずだぜ。
そうだったな。
But doesn't using witnesses count as, like, some kind of testimony? You have to at least explain what they saw.
誰が何魔法を目撃しようともそれは魔法の存在の証明にはならない。俺はお前が見せてきた全ての魔法の存在するしないの遺憾にかかわらず、その全てを無視して人間で説明することができる。それは俺の不可侵の権利である。違ったか。
At those words, the blue stakes let out an even brighter light, knocking my hands away.
抜けぬか。
As Battler is now, even if I pull up a witness for each individual bit of magic and demand an explanation, he'll probably use some kind of move to deny all of them. That's kind of what I want to see, but I guess we're not doing that. Not just the magic with the marshmallow I showed Rosa, but all the miracles of magic. So I can no longer even claim to be a witch without questioning him about something like how a marshmallow is fixed. I'm in such an inferior position that I must fight over such trivialities.
わらわは無理かもしれぬ。わかっている。
This was to be a game without victory from the very beginning. But you know, I have a feeling Lambda Delta won't just let him win, so... This might not just end like this.
なれば、いつか敗れる日が来るのは当然のこと。わらわは、バトラに敗れるためだけに、今日までを戦ってきたというのか。勝てるかもしれないと。簡単には勝てなくても、無限に繰り返すゲームの中で、いつかは奇跡が起こると信じてた。何しろ、わらわには絶対に勝つという絶対の意志がある。しかし、今やその奇跡は完全に失われた。そして絶対の意志はバトラに宿り、いや、奇跡も絶対もないが正しいのか。勝利はなく、引き分けによる終了もない。唯一許さ敗北を与えられるまで永遠と抗うだけのゲーム。そうさ、バトラに殺されるためだけに戦っている。
I looked into Battler's eyes. that which was reflected inside them wasn't me. The figures of the little sister waiting for his return, and the family he had to bring back, were reflected in those eyes. To him, my existence is already not even that of an individual. Obviously, from the very beginning, he has been trying to deny the individual that I am.
面白かったな。ちょっと騙しただけだったけど、ほんのわずかの間だけでも分かり合えたような感じになって面白かったな。そうだよ、そこで手を打っておけばよかったんだよ。でもダメなんだよな。本当の勝ちじゃないんだよな。
これでチェックメイトか、ベアトリーチェ。
Beato had been run through with several blue stakes, skewered over and over to the ground while still standing. Because of that, she wasn't even able to fall over, and, still looking up into the sky, was sewn in place. That tragic form might have been a fitting end for the cruel witch who had endlessly toyed with 18 people's lives, and who had killed constantly for hundreds and thousands of years. Gently, as though someone was mourning over something, rain began to fall. Amid that rain, Beato was soaked and crucified. So I guess one advantage we have with the blue text is that we can use wordplay just like Beatrice can. And if she's not clever enough to counter that wordplay, then we win, even though we didn't actually give a proper explanation of what happened.
終わりなのか、ベアト。
I think that's exactly what Battler did. Although he didn't realize it, he probably thinks that what he said was real. But I think that Beatrice just couldn't defeat him because she couldn't figure out how to counter his wordplay. Even though he didn't do it, like, intentionally. But there were just, like, reasons that she couldn't respond to his blue in certain ways. Which made his blue stand, basically, and that made it too difficult for her to counter.
出ぬわ。
まだだろ。お前はこの程度で終わる女じゃねえだろ。
無茶を言う。この姿がどう見たら終わっていないように見えるのか。早くとどめを刺せよ。言っちまえよ、お前の青き真実で以上により魔女は存在。言っちまえよ、その一撃で私の息の根を止めてしまえ。
ダメだな。
ほう、わらわにこれ以上息すでに決着はついておろうに。
立てよ、俺たちの殴り合いはまだ終わってない。
まだと
な。お前のそれは負けじゃない。もうやめたと投了しているだけだ。
いいではないかよ、投了で。それでそなたの勝ちだろうが、とっとと妹の帰るがいい。わらわなどこの場に打ち捨てていけ。
俺は言ったはずだ。逃げない。お前を逃がさないとな。 お前は何者だ。そして一体何が望みだったんだ。
それが知りたくばそなたの18番でも試せばよい。いいではないか。ただの妄想幻想、それでいいではないか。
全然ダメだぜ。逃がさない。俺はお前をこのまま逃がしてなるもんか。お前をうやむやにしたまま幻想の暗闇に逃げ帰らせはしない。打ち破る、完全にな。だから立て。弱々しいふりなんかする。お前はまだなんてか隠してる。俺にはわかる。
なぜおとなしく見逃してくれぬのか。
親父を、おふくろを、そしてエンゼを、いとこのみんなや親族のみんなを、そして使用人のみんなを、お前はあれだけもてあそんで殺した。その非道を俺は絶対に忘れない。許さない。俺の肩にはよ、まだエンジェの腕の感触が残ってるんだよ。俺はお前の非道を許さない。だからそんなことで逃がさない。
Battler's eyes burned with the flames of hatred. The time had long since passed during which pitiful behavior would have earned his compassion. After being tricked once, Battler will never sympathize with me again.
狼と羊、これじゃ狼少年だな。どうすればいいんだよ。どうすれば負けを認めぬためだけに無限に戦うのよ。バトラに勝利を与えぬために無限に嫌がらせを繰り返すのもまた無限の魔女なのか。悲しいな。こんなのが無限の魔法なのか。もう嫌だ。魔女たちに無限に玩具にされるな。もう嫌だ。勝ちはなく引き分け終了もない。ならばわらわを解放してくれる結末は魔女の道に落ちた時から、悪魔と契約をしたその日から、末路は悲劇であると約束されていたではない。
どうした、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。六軒島の支配者ならば最後もそれにふさわしい貫禄を見せてみろ。
Lightning. The world was smashed with white, fitting last moments for the ruler of Rokunjima. Still pierced by blue stakes, Beto faced the raining sky and let out a cry of laughter. Then she slowly raised her face and stared at Battler.
愚か者め、そなたの健闘をたたえ勝ちを譲ってやろうと思ったの。慢心したな。後悔するぞ。
それは譲られるものじゃねえ。お前から奪い取るものだ。お前だってそうだろうが。俺が魔女はいてもいいかななんて言い出せ、そんな甘っちょろい勝ち方が納得できなかったから 前回はわざとああして最後にぶっ壊してくれたんだろうが。
Yeah, I guess that wasn't just that wasn't her screwing up. That was her more like saying, no, this wouldn't be fair to end it this way.
そうさ、俺は前回お前に一度情けをもらってたんじゃねえか。だからその借りをこれで返す。立て、俺の仇、俺の黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
バカがバカが愚か者が二度とチャンスがあると思うな。
When Beto yelled, the blue stakes that had pierced her chest blew to bits and disappeared. However, the blue wedge that had pierced her foot in the very beginning did not vanish.
まだ抜けてないぜ。18人目の X の青き真実が抜けていない。
そなたの復唱要求の一つに応じる。
Uh-oh.
全ゲームの開始時、金蔵はすでに死んでいる。
Well, there we go. That's that confirmed, I guess, but...
しかし、ならばつまりは一人を抜かせばよいこと。わらわはこれまで、この島には19人以上の人間は存在しないと宣言してきた。それを、金蔵の分一人減らす。
Wait, what? So that means you were just lying before.
この島には18人以上の人間は存在しない。以上、つまり18人目を含めるぞ。つまり18人目の X は存在しない。これは全ゲームに共通することである。
そら見ろ、やっぱりまだとんでもねえ奥の手を隠してやがったぜ。17人しか人間のいない島が18人と偽られてきた。それが1人減って17人になり、ようやく正しい数になったってわけだ。これでお前をぶち抜いていたくさびが抜かれたな。
I don't know how I feel about this, because the entire basis of the Kinzo is dead theory was that when she said that 18 people were on the island, that she was not lying because that was in red. So now that she's saying, well, now that you figured out that Kinzo's dead, that means that there are only 17 people on the island. I don't know. I don't know. That seems a little... That seems to conflict with the red that she said earlier.
戦いはゼロから仕切り直しってわけだ。
The blue wedge that had sewn Beato in place broke apart. There was no longer anything piercing her. The scars on her body had disappeared completely. There stood, just as Battler had hoped for, the figure of the majestic golden witch who ruled Rokonjima.
さあ来いバトラー、もう一度最初からだ。すべてについて青き真実で打ち抜いてみよ。わらわももはや遊ばぬ。逃げもせぬ、隠れもせぬ。そなたが不甲斐ないならばこの勝負、この場にて決着してくれようぞ。わらわの譲り勝利にて妥協しなかったことを永遠に後悔させてくれる。さあ第一のゲームからだ。
おい、最初の園芸倉庫で見つかった親族6人の殺人に不審な点はない。アリバイのない誰にでも犯行は可能だった。
有効だ。 続けるぞ。次のエヴァ夫婦の密室殺人はどう？
It's been a while, but if I recall, this is where we start running into problems.
チェーンまでかかった密室であったぞ。赤き真実を追加する。二人は他殺である。密室構築後に片方を殺害の後に自殺したのではない。
Damn it, that was my only theory back then. Well, now I have no idea.
また殺人は執行者犠牲者が共に同室して行われた。
That is even more damning. Damn it.
執行者が室内から殺害する手段は存在しない。
Well then, maybe they both killed each other at the same time? No, there's no way. Like, why would they kill each other? That would be just stupid. But yeah, there's no way. So, I have no idea. I have no idea.
犯人にはアリバイのない人間を想定する。それは死者だ。最初の6人の死体の中には顔面粉砕による身元不明死体が含まれる。
Well, that aspect is fine. We did suspect that, but...
これが実は偽装死体で、犠牲者のふりをして姿をくらました犯人 X が2人を殺したとの仮説は可能だ。そして犯人は密室殺人構築後、ベッドの下に隠れ俺たち全員をやり過ごしたんだ。
よかろう、次だ。
I guess that's one way of thinking about it. Yeah, just like Kinzo's locked room. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense, that the culprit was just hiding, and they were there the whole time.
ボイラー室に至ったカノンが殺されたな。赤き真実を追加する。
Is she gonna say that Kumasawa didn't kill him?
すべての生存者にアリバイがある。さらに死者も含めようぜ。つまり島のいかなる人間にも死者にもカノンは殺せなかった。
誰にも殺せないなら自分で殺したということはあるかもな。ならカノン君は自殺かもしれない。
That might actually be true. Maybe. Especially based on what he was saying beforehand.
不詳要求。カノン君は自殺ではない。
カノンは自殺ではない。
So she's saying that Kumasawa had an alibi and that she did not kill Kanon, which means that Kanon's death had to be either an accident or triggered from somewhere else, like some kind of remote device or something.
重ねるぜ。副賞要求。カノン君は他殺された。
副賞を拒否する。
その拒否で他殺を認めることも可能だが、お前はすでに赤で誰にも殺せなかったと宣言している。つまり他殺ではないんだ。これは第3のゲームの連鎖密室と同じなのさ。カノン君は自殺でも他殺でもない理由で死亡したんだ。状況は不明だが事故死というわけさ。胸に杭がぶち込まれて死んでしまうような、どのようなドジを踏んで事故死に至ったかについての説明は悪魔の証明により説明拒否。
ほうほう、悪魔の力を身につけたそなたは今や敵なしだな。有効であるぞ。ならばその後の客間にての源氏、男女、熊沢の3名の殺人はどうか。同室していたマリアは殺していないぞ。
I mean, I didn't really think she did, but it was in the back of my head, so I guess that possibility is gone. But we know that the culprit is somebody that Maria trusts, because in fact, the culprit is is probably the person who wrote the Beatrice note. Somebody who... maybe Rosa? I don't know.
そしてもちろん3人は他殺だ。
殺人を実行したのは身元不明死体で姿をくらました犯人 X で説明できる。そもそもあの3人の顔面も粉砕されていた。どれかが替え玉死体の可能性は十分にある。
身元不明死体についてその身元を全て保証する。
Uh-oh.
すなわち替え玉トリックは存在しない。
Well, damn. That pretty much wipes out that theory. All identified theory... wait, all identified? No, all unidentified corpses. So that means even Kinzo's corpse was his own corpse. Damn.
ならば相打ち殺人で説明できる。3人はそれぞれに銃を持って時計回りに突きつけ、同時に相手の顔面を吹き飛ばした。
What, and then Maria cleaned up the scene, got rid of their guns? I mean, I guess that could happen.
その後マリアがその銃を回収して隠した。
These scenarios are getting progressively more and more ridiculous, though. Like, why would anything like this happen? But at the same time, I mean, you can't deny that it's not possible.
これならどうだ。
なんという暴論。気に入った。ならば最後の夏日は赤き真実を追加。夏日は他殺である。身元不明死体は一切ない。生存者も全員がアリバイがある。
トラップ X による間接殺人で説明できる。夏日おばさんの銃に細工がされてたんだ。あの銃は構えて撃った人間のちょうど眉間に弾をくれてやるように作られた罠の銃だったとすれば説明できる。
I guess that's one way of thinking about it.
夏日の額に埋まりし銃弾は夏日の銃から放たれたものではない。
Well, that you also just confirmed that it wasn't just like her shooting at a witch and the bullet bouncing back at her, so that confirms that. It's obvious. Not that it really matters. There's still like a million different magical explanations you can give to that, but I guess that means that someone else shot her. Maybe there's a trap rigged in like the portrait or something like that. I don't know.
夏日おばさんは内容不明の手紙によりおびき出された可能性がある。そしてホールに呼び出された。そして特定の時刻に特定の場所に立つように強いられた。あらかじめ設置してあった銃を利用したトラップ X により殺害されたんだ。
素晴らしい。そなたの暴論はもはや心地よくすらある。敬意を表し第一のゲームをそなたに譲ろうぜ。
That means that he's probably wrong, but she's gonna just hand it over, I guess.
感服したわ。
The instant Beato acknowledged her defeat in the first game, the stakes of the blue truth once again pierced her chest, letting out a terrible sound.
これくらいでは答えぬわ。まだまだ来い。第2のゲームだ。
Beato just barely pulled out the stakes that had pierced her chest. But even though there was no hole left behind, she still seemed to be bearing a deep wound that was letting out a massive amount of blood. And she was tormented by an equally fierce pain. But Beato grinned, grinding her teeth, and pushed for the next game to start. But I won't feel sympathy for her. Just by her existing there, we've been killed and harassed over and over. And Ange has been burdened with a future of isolation.
そうとも。わらわはここにただ笑うだけでも永遠の地獄は続く。そなたを妹に返しはしない。妹は帰らぬ家族に 千年の間泣き続ければよい。
ちくしょうが、情けも容赦もしねえぜ。第2のゲームだ。まずは最初の事件だ。6人が殺された礼拝堂での密室殺人については当時の俺がすでにカンパしている。マリアの鍵を何者かが密かに拝借し、事件終了後に密かにマリアのカバンに戻したんだ。
マリアの鍵はマリア受領後から翌日のローザ開封の瞬間まで誰の手にも渡っていない。
Alright, there we go. So that's where my theory comes in, that I believe what it was that they unlocked the door, and then they just opened it, just left it open, and then, or actually they, yeah, I guess we're gonna have to have Bather explain it here.
GG の書斎と同じ構造で礼拝堂の扉がオートロックだった可能性がある。
No, she's gonna say it doesn't.
つまり事件前に開錠しておいて扉が閉まりきらないように石でも挟んでおいた。そして鍵をマリアに預けた。施錠はオートのため鍵は必要なかったとの仮説もあり得る。
I thought she'd said something last game about that not being the case, but I could be wrong.
金蔵の書斎以外にオートロックの扉は存在しない。
Well, there goes that theory. The one I had about the one that Goda was trying to lock a while back.
扉は犠牲者たちが内側から閉めたんだ。6人の中に犯人がいて5人を殺し死んだふりをしていた。
6人は発見時にすでに全員死亡していた。全員が他殺だ。6人は全員が純粋な犠牲者であり、相互の殺人には関与しない。相打ち殺人は存在しない。
熊沢さんをはじめ当時アリバイがない人間が存在した。そんな誰かが6人を殺し内側に隠れていたと仮定すれば問題ない。
あの礼拝堂には誰も隠れていなかった。よってその引きこもり密室は通用しない。どうしたよ、後ろにはバートラ。第2のゲームからは甘くないぜ。
It was a thundering exchange of red and blue truth. The stakes and wedges of blue truth that I sent flying attacked one after the other, and Beato cut them down one after another with her red truth, her red treasured sword knocking them down. But the blood she'd lost from the first game was probably serious. This intense exercise was putting an even greater strain on her. I could also see her breath grow ragged. That's why I can't hold back now. I'll corner that witch. This time I'll break through her.
まだだぜ。ああ、ダメだ。全然ダメだ。俺のへりくつは終わっちゃいねえぜ。ならばこれはどうだ。彼らに与えられた飲食物に小型爆弾が入っていて腹の中で爆発した。
Well, there we go. There's that one spoiler image. It's so stupid. But, well, now there it is.
つまりトラップ X による犯行の可能性。気づかずに飲み込んで腹をぶちまけるような爆弾の詳細については悪魔の証明。説明拒否。
なんだよそりゃ。小型爆弾。
But Beto failed to knock down the blue wedge as it flew at an angle like a breaking pitch. It let out a loud thunk and gouged itself deep into her left shoulder. However, even as the breaking pitch hit her, her laughter didn't seem to be stopping. Yeah, I get it. Even I think that theory is pretty screwed up.
好きなだけ笑いやがれ。文句があるのか。
なし。その暴論や心地よし。次なるジェシカとカノンの密室は。
問題ない。使用人の誰かが犯人であればマスターキーを使える。密室ですらない。
その後使用人室でカノンらしき謎の人物が襲いかかり、南條と熊沢が殺されたな。
They were lying. Simple as that.
カノンの死亡はあの時刻以前に赤で宣言済みだった。
Alternatively, when you said the Canon was killed, you meant that he was dealt the killing blow, not that he was dead.
ならばあのカノンは何者だというのか。
カノン君の死亡は赤で宣言済みならば生きているわけがない。よって襲われた彼らがカノン君と誤認するような何者かの変装の可能性がある。
彼らは異なる人物。カノンと誤認することは絶対にない。
ならば金蔵の名の世襲と同じにカノンの名が世襲された可能性がある。
That's the stupidest theory.
カノン君が殺され別の人物がその名を受け継ぎ彼らを襲ったと仮定できる。
A sound like a watermelon being squashed rang out, and a blue wedge was buried deep into Beato's left flank. Maybe it hit in a bad place, since it seemed to be really effective. After leaning over and moaning for a while, she laughed it off as though trying to make it seem like no big deal. Yeah, I get it. That must have hurt a lot.
またしてもこともなげに人間の誰かを犯人に仕立ててきやがったぜ。ゲーム盤上では口が裂けても言えぬことを実にシャーシャーとのたま。しかし有効だ。その暴言心地よし。心地よいぜ。これは痛みではない。心地よさだ。
That really doesn't explain why everyone said it was canon, but I guess that doesn't really matter. We can just assume they're lying. When Beato howled, the wedge that had pierced her was blasted away, but the wound remained, and she continued to be tormented by a fierce pain.
いいのか。続けていくぜ。第2のゲームの最後の殺人。夏日おばさんの部屋で死んだ3人についての青き真実は18人目の X を否定されても有効のはず。
There's still some stuff too that we didn't explain in the first game, like the envelope in the study, or who put that there. But I guess that doesn't really matter. That could be any of the people who had the opportunity to put it there.
赤で反論はあるか。なければ第2のゲームも俺のものだ。
ああ、ないぞ。そのようなさまつで戦うのもつまらない。くれてやる。第2のゲームなぞ貴様にくれてやるわ。
The instant she acknowledged her loss in the second game, 2 blue stakes gouged through Beato's chest this time. The witch's lungs were gouged, as were her intestines. Her face twisted in anguish. Her body twisted as she gasped in pain.
言いてえのか。
痛い？いやいや、くすぐったいくらいよ。全身を細切れにされてくず肉の山にされたお前の妹に比べればな。お前もくず肉にしてやるぞ。兄弟仲良く混ぜて合いびきにしてくれるわ。
ぶち殺してやる。お前を同じ細切れにしてやる。次だ、第3のゲームだ。いつまでへばってやがる。てめえを地獄に叩き落としてやるのはこれからだ。
無論よ、これくらいでへばるものか。そうとさ、第3のゲームを始めようぜ。まずは最初の6連結の連鎖密室。本来ならこの密室はそなたが当時にカンパしている。しかしそなたは金蔵を殺してしまった。
At the time, I theorized that Gramps was the culprit, and that after killing the other 5 and stringing the keys across each room, he'd constructed his own closed room in the boiler room. And that there, he'd died in an accident while carrying out some kind of scheme, burning to death in the boiler. But now I've declared that Gramps was already dead, so I've denied my own theory myself, ironically enough. However...
問題ない。ジジイ以外にも犯行可能な人間は大勢いる。親族会議中だった大人たちが全員グルで犯行に及んだとさえ言い切れる。
マスターキー5本は全て5人の使用人の懐よりそれぞれ発見された。個別の鍵は死体の傍らの封筒の中に。つまり連鎖密室に関わる全ての鍵が連鎖密室内に閉じ込められていたわけだ。ドアの隙間だの窓の隙間だの通気口だの、そんなところを使って密室外から鍵を戻すことなどできるぞ。
なら毒ガスで殺したんだ。鍵は通らなくてもガスなら通るぜ。密室の外から殺人を実行したんだ。
So that means even Nanja would have to be in on it, because he diagnosed the corpses.
彼ら全員には致命傷となった重曹と思わしき傷跡があったぞ。
Okay, so, never mind.
室外からの殺害は不可能だぞ。さらに赤を重ねようぜ。金蔵を除く5人の殺人の際、殺人者は必ず同室していた。自殺者がいないことは当時に赤で宣言済みだ。
犯人は全員をそれぞれの部屋で殺害後、連鎖密室を構築した。しかし最後の部屋の鍵だけはどうしても密室内に戻せない。だが戻すことはできたぜ。死体の第一発見者が鍵を見つけたふりをして誰かの死体のポケットから取り出して見せればいいからだ。
Good point. I didn't really think of that. She couldn't fully block the retort of that blue stake. Beto was pushed back by the blue wedges that were unleashed on her one after another, finally failed to block one, and once again took a severe wound. As she howled in pain, she pulled out the blue wedge that had pierced her right arm. Beto's entire body had been torn apart and pierced with blue wedges, stakes, and blades, over and over again, and now she was totally covered in blood. But even so, Beto grinned, cackling as though this was amusing.
親を連れ戻して帰宅すると約束した男がどの口で親を犯人にした説を語るというのか。いいぜ、それでもいいんだぜ。家族で仲良く大量殺人に手を染めて、決して落ちぬ血にまみれながらエンジェのところに帰れよ。それでこそ魔女の島からの生還者にお似合いだぜ。
黙りやがれ。てめえを殺せ。バラバラにして殺せ。命乞いの必要はないぜ。絶対にこの手で最悪の死を与えてやる。
ああ、そなたならできるだろう。1000年の果てに残虐の限りを尽くしきったわらわにそれに見合う最後を を与えてくれるだろう。ああ、それは痛いのか辛いのか、それともくすぐったいのかな。これくらいで答えるかよ。来いよ後ろ宮バトラー、まだ謎は残ってるぜ。
Beto had already countered my first powerful move, the 18th person X, by making the number of people on the island 17. I still think that was kind of bullshit, to be honest, but that's fine. But just limiting the number of people to 17 didn't overturn the theory that Aunt Ava was the culprit. I can crush most of the murders in the third game this way. Blood dripped from all over the body of the Golden Witch. I cornered her, this time thoroughly without mercy. This isn't a game played to decide who wins and who loses. Yeah, we aren't playing. Even the time I spent playing and fighting like this delays my trip home. Inner isolation, and will continue to have her heart torn apart by loneliness and sadness. I have to go back to Ange as fast as I can.
ボロボロだな。虫の息ってやつか。
まだまだ答えぬよ。これくらいこそばよいわ。
いらねえようだな、容赦。
もとよりそのつもりもなかろう。
存分に行くぜ。
そうせよ。逆の立場だった時、わらわは容赦しなかった。だからそなたもそのチャンスがあったならそうするべきであろうが。じゃないとまた別の世界の孤独な演者を呼んで、今度は獅子を引きちぎって槍に刺して炙り焼きにしちまうぜ。
黙れ。もう二度と俺の家族も親族も、そして使用人のみんなもお前のおもちゃにはさせねえぜ。俺はすでに第4のゲームの謎も全て青き真実で打ち破っている。
Except for the last, wait, no, the third, we're talking about the third game, right?
残る謎は第3のゲームの一番最後。
Yeah, exactly.
南條先生の殺人だけだぜ。
おや、わらわはもうそんなところまで追い詰められていた。わらわも風前の灯火であるな。
She coughed violently, spitting up blood. Her insides had been punched through so many times. It was only natural.
ということは、この南條先生殺しの謎だけがお前が魔女であることの最後の防衛戦ってことになるな。
そうなる。これを破られた。わらわは全ての謎を破られた。
Not solved, but defeated. I think the distinction there is important.
そなたの真実にいずれか新しき赤き真実に反論するか。わらわ真
追い詰められて風前の灯火って感じには見えねえぜ。まだ何か隠し玉を持ってやがるな。
さてどうかな。わらわはもはや千年の長すぎる生涯にあいている。その果てに巡り合ったそなたという公的種によって生涯を閉じるのも悪くないと思い始めている。 なたならやれるよな。やってくれよ。頼むよ。殺してくれよ。殺してばっかりでさ、殺された試しがねえんだよ。お前ら18人を幾百と殺してはきたけれど、殺された試しは一度もねえから。
See, she said 18 again, but she said earlier that it's 17 without Kinzo, so...
一回くらいは経験してみてんだよ。
You know, wait a second, the idea that it's 17 without Kinzo might be important. I don't know, maybe that's a way of interpreting it. Instead of, like, saying that, she was wrong when she said there were only 18 people on the island, maybe what she meant to say was that she didn't say that there were 18 living people on the island, she only said that there were 18 people, and if you remove Kinzo from that list of 18, then it becomes 17. So, maybe that's a way of reconciling that? I don't know. It was a graceless show of boldness, unchanged from before. But blood dripped from her mouth, her once beautiful dress was covered in holes, and blood poured from all over her body, making her physical appearance stand in sharp contrast to her attitude. Maybe the shot she'd taken to the flank was still tormenting her, since she was still pressing down on it unconsciously without a trace of grace. But I've got no time for pity. As long as I feel sympathy for this witch, my family and I won't be released from this place. Until I defeat her, we won't be able to go home. In the outside world, it may be possible for even enemies to understand each other when circumstances change. But pure evil does exist. Evil that brings misfortune just by existing, and is to be spared no compromise. Just by its continued existence alone, it's evil.
お前を哀れには思わない。お前が俺たちの誰にも憐れまなかったように。
そうともさ、お前らね、ゲームの駒だぜ。毎回最初の6人は誰を殺そうかな。もっともっとグロい殺し方はねえかなって考えるのは最高に楽しいぜ。なあバトラよ、少し改心するから今回も許してくれよ。そしたらさ、もうちょっとマシな殺し方に変えてやるからよ。誰をどの順にどんな風に殺すか、お前の希望も聞いてやるからよ。楽しいぜ。人の命をもてあそぶってのはよ、お前なら考えつくよ。エンジをもっともっとクズ肉にしてやる方法は来いよ。バトラー、南條殺し、暴いてみろ。
The 18th person X has been defeated, but I won't give in. I'll stop that witch's breathing cold. This is basically the same position we were in at the end of episode 3. The witch, or the web that we were in, the red web of Ava Beatrice. At the end of the third game, it was announced in red that the survivors at that point in time, Battler, Ava, Jessica, and Nanjo, were all uninvolved with Nanjo's murder. And it was also proclaimed that he was murdered directly by someone before his eyes. All other people had the strongest possible alibi by having their deaths proclaimed in red. I'll break through this without using the 18th person X. Think, don't stop thinking. Her red doesn't only bind me, it's also supposed to be her weak point. I've got to somehow use it against her. That's right, there's still a gap. Yeah, this way. I can break through it. This way, Beatrice's legend of the witch is finished.
確かに他の連中は死亡だったのさ。だが赤で死亡を宣言されたのは 南條先生が死んだ瞬間ではない。
That was kind of the point of doubt that I had back then. I'm pretty sure I said something about this as well. About how since we don't know when they died, that's the only way that this could make sense.
厳密に言えば南條先生の死体が見つかった後の俺とエヴァの戦いにおいてだ。つまり南條先生を殺した時点では生きていた何者かがエヴァの死亡宣言までの間に死亡していれば、つまりはこういうことさ。エヴァの死亡宣言で初めて死亡とされた人物の中に犯人がいて、その人物は最初うまいこと死んだふりをして俺たちをやり過ごした。そして赤での死亡宣言がないまま俺たちには死んだと思い込ませた。
And if that's the case, then maybe Shannon or... No, it couldn't be Shannon because... you have to wonder how whoever did this died, because it wasn't Ava who took care of them.
そして南條先生を殺し、その後に何かの理由で死んだ。
But that doesn't really matter for Battler's purposes here.
そしてその後にエヴァが赤で死亡宣言を出す。以上の仮説でも南條先生の事件は説明できる。
How's that, Beatrice? When he forcefully asked that question, there was a terrible sound that could only be likened to that of a compressor, and a blue stake that was as thick as a log appeared from under the earth and skewered the Golden Witch Beato, pulling her up into the air. Ugly tearing sounds rang out, and each time a blue stake or wedge would appear and pierce Beatrice's body. When that finally ended, her tragic form was exposed there, pin-cushioned by more than 10 stakes, and wedges all over her body, and dripping with blood, dangling and crucified. There was none of the dignity of the brutal witch who had sneered at the honor of the dead and toyed with and killed hundreds of the living. The rain, which had started falling at some point, quietly tormented the crucified witch. As Battler heaved with his breathing, he waited for some kind of answer from the Golden Witch. Although it wasn't long, it took the witch a bit of time to show any signs of life.
お前が殺めてきた人々の痛みの一部を思い知れ。
Even as he said that, it seemed Battler had lost a little of his momentum at this extremely pathetic sight. Even if it was an enemy, he couldn't look straight at a woman exposed in such a brutal fashion. But even so, unless he destroyed Beatrice, this battle wouldn't end.
バトラー、頼むよ。
Huh? Beato let out a sob.
いてよ。すけ、いてよ。終わらせて。これでも死ねねえんだよ。まだ。
俺に何を求めやがる。
終わらせて。この苦痛から解放して。
Beato's expression was soaked with blood and tears. Battler certainly had been tricked by her at one point, so he was probably able to suspect that her expression, that even her tears, were an act. However, Battler believed in those tears. After all, those tears had the red of truth mixed in with them.
どうすりゃいい。どうすれば。 お前の痛みを終わらせられる。
すべてを晒すから。それが笑わぬ心臓。
心臓。
どうして
ベアト。
死なせて。
Were those tears from pain and torment, or else? Either way, that pathetic expression was painful for Battler to look at, even after burning with such anger.
早くヘンゼルのところに
帰るためじゃない。お前の痛みを止めるために。お前の願いを聞く。
In her last breaths, Beato summoned up all of her remaining strength, and managed to close both of her hands into fists. A red light began to gather at those fists. Then she lifted her arms as though appealing to the heavens for something.
殺せるから私のすべて心臓を潰して貫いてね。
The red light around both her arms gradually began to strengthen.
おね。
After saying that much, her face tilted to the side a bit. Then her right arm lost its light and flopped down. But her left arm alone did not lose its light and remained held out toward the heavens. You know, I wonder... This might be a lot like what happened to Battler. When she denied that he was Asumu's son, and she denied that he was Ushidamiya Battler. Maybe by denying that she's Beatrice the Golden Witch, that might be denying her, but she might actually still be a human named Beatrice. And we might be, like, basically killing her by denying her, even though she's not a witch. I don't know. I feel like there might be more to this. Then, before Battler's eyes, another Beato appeared with a faint form, transparent like a curtain. The crucified Beato had already lost consciousness. However, the newly appeared faint Beato quietly looked at me, her eyes expressionless, and spoke.
後ろにはバト。今から私があなたを殺し。
それで。
そしてたった今、この島にはあなた以外誰もいません。
Oh shit. That is a... That is a good point. We're gonna have to explain that, aren't we? I mean... Yeah. I mean, I guess Kanon is the only one who could... No, she confirmed Kanon's death. Huh.
この島で生きているのはあなただけです。島の外の存在は一切干渉できません。
I understand. This is the last mystery Beatrice will be able to make as a witch. She's trying to offer it to me, entreating me to solve this final mystery and kill her.
来いよ。お前の最後の謎。俺が受け取ってやる。
この島にあなたはたった一人。そしてもちろん私はあなたではない。なのに私は今ここにいて、これからあなたを殺します。
Maybe Battler was killed by poison, by drinking poisoned wine or something that was prepared beforehand, and that means that he's about to die, basically. And he already knows it, but... Or, I mean, he doesn't know it, but he's already been killed, but... it just doesn't count as being killed yet until he actually dies.
南條先生殺しの謎の強化版ってわけか。それで
私は誰？
Then there's that. Are we actually gonna have to think about who Beatrice is before it just spoils it for us? Right now, my prime suspect is Rosa. My second prime suspect would be Shannon. And my third prime suspect would be Kirie. Then it's also possible that it's Nasuhi, but I don't find that as likely. And then after that, I could only guess Jessica or Kumasawa. So, I don't think it's Ava. The reason I think it might be Rosa is because Maria made no mention of going to a family conference before she said that she spoke to Beatrice in order to have Sakutaro revived. She said that even Beatrice said that she couldn't do it, but she didn't say that she went to the family conference to ask Beatrice that. Beatrice was just with her the entire time, which makes me think that Rosa was the one who said that she couldn't fix Sakutaro. And Maria just interprets one aspect of Rosa when she's not being evil or something as Beatrice or something like that. Which would also explain why Maria is able to say things like she obediently says things like the Beatrice gave her the umbrella and not her mother, not Kinzo. Or I mean, in one thing she did say Kinzo, but maybe Rosa told her to say Kinzo in that case. So yeah, that is my guess right now. I'm gonna go with Rosa.
それがお前の最後の出題なのか。
私は誰？
I'm also gonna go one step further and say that the story that Rosa told us about how she met Beatrice one time may also be slightly true. However, maybe it was actually Rosa that died that day, and maybe Beatrice is the one who came back and replaced Rosa. I don't know. Then Beatrice slowly approached me and, still expressionless, held me. Yeah, I get it, Beto. I'll kill you, don't worry. I also slowly held her head. Then I, as a piece, left the game board. Died on the ninth twilight, what? All the goats. All the goats. Well, yeah, and we've also got all these characters. Alright, so are we gonna get a game record here? Alliance of the Golden Witch. No, we don't actually get a game record. I mean, we got the game record up above. We got all the characters and when they died, but we didn't get the usual, like, letter that we get at the end of an episode. That might be after the question marks. We'll see. And we're going straight into them. Even though it's been 2.5 hours, we're gonna keep going. Hopefully this isn't another 2 hours. But I don't, like, most of them have not been that long, so we're just gonna go straight in here. Scattered on a large bed were cute jelly beans of various colors, and chocolates shaped like ohajiki pieces. A fork was stuck into a shortcake, peeking out of a gift box, and there were decanters with drinks of various colors lined up on a side table. But the color of the partially finished drink that had been poured into a cup was venomous, matching none of the decanters. Someone had probably been playing around, mixing various things together. That can be lots of fun if you don't mind the taste. On top of the fluffy bed were several colorful big pillows, like something from a dream. And on this bed that looked like something out of a child's dream world, Berncastle lay face down, and Lambda Delta lay face up, clutching a pillow and relaxing.
ベアトがゲームやめるとか言い出してかなり焦ったわ。これだけのゲームを始めておいて投げっぱなしで終えようとするなんて失礼。エンジェ、いい駒だったじゃない。とんずらしたベアトを引きずり戻してゲームを再開させてくれたわ。バトラをやる気にさせすぎちゃったのはさすがに参ったけどね。バトラは情に弱いって分かってたから。確かにあいつ敵であるベアトにも手加減しかねない雰囲気があったわね。前回の流れから下手するとベアトに同情しておかしな方向にゲームを流すかもしれないって危惧してたの。エンジェはバトラがゴールを誤解した時に再誘導するための切り札よ。本当はもっとサポートさせてそれから切りたかったんだけどね。いきなり切らされたの。仕込みに随分かかった駒なのにもったいなかった。例の名乗っちゃダメルール枷にしておいてよかった。あれを設けなかったら兄弟タッグ大活躍でベアとはあっという間に飲み込まれてゲームエンドだったわ。
I mean, probably.
一気に畳みかけるチャンスかと思ったんだけど。
By the way, let's check, we actually, no, we don't have any, characters here. Oops, maybe we do. We do on the, on this version. This is still the same description as before. And so is this. And we don't have any of that. Alright.
あんたのマークがきつくてうまく活かせなかったわ。ああ、もったいない駒だった。当然でしょ。あんなずるい駒とっととリタイアしてくれないと困るわ。まあ結果的にゲーム中断を阻止する活躍をしてくれたし、それは私にとっても助かることだった。互いの利害が一致する活躍をしてくれたという意味においては本当に素晴らしい駒だったわよ。バトラと同じで単純な子だったから簡単に私の言いなりになってくれたわ。駒にするならバカか直情型よね。ああ、本当に惜しい駒だったわ。その子も今じゃひき肉ねえ、後で一緒にそれでハンバーグ作りましょうよ。あ、餃子の方が好きだっけ？妹味ってどんな味かしら笑える。あんたそんな余裕でいいの？エンジェのおかげでバトラは奮起、ベアとを猛追し始め、今やだいぶ私が有利なゲーム展開だと思うけど。というかバトラ、今回でこれまでのほとんどの謎を解いちゃったんじゃない？はあ？とんでもない。バトラの青き真実なんてほとんど外れてるわよ。
Yeah, I kind of figured. I kind of figured most of it was wrong, but...
ベアとのぬるい赤なんて隙間だらけだもの。多少は知恵の回る子だったら適当にへりくつ並べりゃ簡単にすり抜けられるわ。
But it's also, you can also look at it as Battler setting up a web of twisted logic against Beatrice. In that sense, it's not as if he's not doing a really good job.
ああ、本当にイライラしたわよ。私だったらどれもこれも徹底的に赤で切り返してるわ。
Well, yeah, because fighting against Lambda Delta means fighting against the best possible moves, so I guess that would be a lot more difficult.
あら、そうだったの？私はてっきりあれらが正解だと思ってたわ。小型爆弾を飲み込ませて云々はさすがにどうかと思ったけど。バトラの青き真実だって全部が有効になってはいないわ。
I can't tell if that whole bombs in the food thing, if that thing that I saw is just like a meme based on that one joke or that one line, or if it's actually gonna come into play later and be like some big thing. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if it actually did come into play later. But for now, I'm just gonna treat it as just a dumb theory, because that's what it is. There's no point, there's no, like, reason to think that that's the case.
ベアとは身元不明死体について、その身元を全て保証するとはっきり明言している。これによりバトラのエヴァ・秀吉の密室殺人の犯人は偽装死体を演じた何者かという推理が破られてるのよ。次にボイラー室のカノンは事故死だったろうとしてるけど自分の胸に杭が突き刺さっちゃう事故って何よ。ばっかじゃない。私が赤き宝刀とやらで切ってやるわよ。カノンは事故死ではない。その次の客間での源氏たち3人の殺人の時計回りに同時に射殺して死に合ったとかいう相打ち殺人も滑稽だわ。源氏、熊沢、南條は殺人者ではない。最後の夏日殺しのトラップ X もバカバカしいわ。
Wait, I wonder if that means Genji, Kumasawa, and Nanjo are not killers in all games, or if they're just not killers in the first game. The way she's phrasing it as not killers makes me think that they did not kill anyone in any of the games.
夏日を射殺したのはトラップじゃなく、ちゃんと銃を構えて引き金を引いてしっかり射殺したのよ。ご愁傷様。あんたダメよ、そんなこと赤で言って。あの子夏日の銃弾を魔法で跳ね返して殺したってことにしてるんだから。
Yeah, but she already ruined that story by saying that the bullet that killed her was not fired from her own gun.
あらあら、いけない。スターニのゲームの青き真実だって甘すぎよ。礼拝堂での6人の殺害時、犯人は礼拝堂内にいたわ。あいつ何でもかんでもトラップ X で説明しようとするわよね。トラップ X って何よ。変なミステリー小説のお約束。使用人室で南條と熊沢が殺された事件のカノンの名前を世襲したとかいうのが滑稽だわ。カノンの名を名乗ることができるのは本人のみ。異なる人間が名乗ることはできない。夏日の部屋のローザからマスターキーを借りたという推理もダメダメ。ローザがマスターキーを管理して以降、それら全ては一度たりとも彼女の手を離れていない。
Well, she's just cutting down everything. But this'll help us later on, when I'm trying to piece all this together.
夏日の部屋を開錠した時にバトラに貸し出した際を除いてね。まだまだ続くけど、ざっと軽く見てもこんな感じかしら。軽くも何も、あんた第1と第2のゲームにおけるバトラの青き真実。あらあら、なんてこと。バトラがそれを聞いたらそっとしちゃうわね。ね、ベアとは全然追い詰められてなんかいないのよ。あの子やっぱりなかなかの役者だわ。きっと今回のゲームでは一見追い詰められたふりをしてみせて、次のゲームあたりでバサーッと赤で一刀両断にしてバトラをびっくり仰天させる作戦でしょうよ。それできっとまた大笑いしながら言うんだわ。魔女はピンチになんかなりませんって。じゃあ、あのベアとの追い詰められたみたいな悲壮感は全部演技なの？
I don't know. I think there's more to it than that.
そうに決まってるじゃない。あいつ本当に大女優よね。全然追い詰められてなんかいないのに、最終回顔負けのクライマックス感だったわ。今年の助演女優賞はあいつに決定ね。ああ、もちろん主演は私だけど、メルンでもいいわよ。私を殺してみたいなことを言って最後に大きな謎を出したわよ。それを解かれたらベアとは今度こそおしまいの排水の陣じゃないの？やだ、ベルンまで騙されてるの？あんなの排水の陣でもなんでもない。ベアとはね、まだまだどぎつい奥の手を温存してるわ。最後の謎を出すために両腕を突き出した時、右腕だけ下ろしたの気づいてた？
I mean, no, I didn't notice that, because I don't think the text mentioned that.
ああ、そういえばあれはそういう意味だったわ。そういうわけ。あの子はまだまだ奥の手を残してる。そして何も謎は解かれちゃいない。それをまるで全て完歩されて次回最終回みたいなテンションにしちゃうなんて。つくづくあの子は演技の天才よ。ああ、早くバトラをどん底に叩き落とすところが見てやりたいわ。 あの子、前回のゲームの北風と太陽作戦ですっかり味を占めちゃったんじゃない？バトラ、きっとまたベアとに同情してコロッと引っかかるわよ。女の涙は一粒で男を騙せるからね。実に安上がりでお得よね。
バトラ、またその手に引っかかっちゃうかしら。二度と同情しないように私もバトラを焚きつけない。当分はエンジェのひき肉で焚きつけられそうだけどね。
エンジ味のハンバーグでパワーアップ。もちろんこっちも負けないわよ。ここからバトラと拮抗するくらいに盛り返せるようベアトを徹底的にサポートするもの。負けないわよ、ベアトは。負けたら素敵な罰ゲームがあるわよってきっちり脅してるもん。
あんたの罰ゲーム本気でシャレにならないから少し加減した方がいいわよ。
ベルに次に罰ゲームをできるときはこうしようって決めてるのがあるの。聞きたい聞きたい。
嫌よ。
もう聞いてよ。あのねベルを素敵なお城に閉じ込めてあげるの。そのお城は真っ白な純白の城壁に囲まれていて、一辺は12km、高さは10メートルあるの。魔法とズルは禁止。とても飛び越せないわよね。
14億4000万竜兵。話のうちが読めたからもういいわよ。
そこをね、毎日一粒ずつの宝石で埋めていくの。それで城壁いっぱいに溜まるまでベルンを閉じ込めて、その宝石で埋め殺すの。素敵なロマンチックな罰ゲームでしょ。
一辺を5倍にしていいから高さを10分の1にしてくれたら今から閉じ込めてもいいわよ。
ほんと？36億竜兵になるわよ。罰ゲームが倍以上の期間になるわよ。
Make it 1/10 of its current height, so she could just hop over it.
そんなにも長い間虜になってくれるのね。ベルン大好き。愛してる。
Lambda Delta playfully approached Berncastle, who yawned, looking bored, as she touched the bottom of Lambda Delta's chin as though cuddling a cat.
ベルンはバトラの勝利にかけてて、私は二人が永遠に引き分けになるのにかけてる。
Okay, so it seems like she actually knows about this. So it's not a secret from Berncastle that she's rooting for a tie.
それで誰かベアとの勝利にはかけてないの？
かけないわよ。
Does that mean they're gonna bring in someone else to bet for Beatrice's victory?
勝率ゼロだもん。
奇跡の魔女に奇跡ゼロって言われるのも本当にお気の毒。私もかけないけどね。絶対
の魔女に絶対ダメって言われるのもお気の毒ね。
Unusually for them, they giggled
この
together.
ゲームどういう決着に終わるかしら。
さすがにそれだけは読めないわ。だから楽しいわけだし。
I really don't understand the relationship between Berncastle and Lambda Delta at all. Supposedly, Berncastle is like a reference to a character in Higurashi, so I'm interested to go back and play that at some point, see what's up with that. But right now, I just have no idea. These two are a total mystery.
もう逃げも中断も許さない。絶対にゲームを続けさせる。逃がさない。これからどんな風に展開していくのか想像もつかないけれど、絶対にありえない決着の仕方だけはわかるわ。
ベアトが勝って終わることだけはないわね。
だって私もベルンもどっちもベアトの勝利にかけてないんだもん。つまりベアトが勝ちそうになったら私たち二大魔女を敵に回すことになる。
そういうことね。私たちの力が最も均衡するのは引き分けとバトラ有利の中間で均衡している場合のみ。ベアト有利に傾きすぎれば私たちは共に同じベクトルに団結してベアトを引きずり戻す。
つまりベアト優勢になった瞬間私たち二人をまとめて敵に回すってことよ。ベルンと共闘楽しい。
ありがとう。でもコンペイ島のお風呂には一緒に入らないわよ。
コンペイ島のシャワーを浴びながらとろけたマシュマロを塗りたくってあげるのに。
気の毒。あの子は私と遊ぶためにラムダが捕まえてきた生きたおもちゃ、お人形だわ。
私お人形遊びは上手なの。ほんと上手に遊べるのよ。飽きずに一つのおもちゃで何百年も遊べるのが自慢なの。
ある時は味方し、ある時は敵対し、永遠にもてあそび続ける。かわいそうにね。あの子はもう私たちのお人形。
そういうことよ。あの子は私たちのお人形。私たち二人の望む末路しか用意されてない。つまり私によって永遠に引き分けが繰り返されるか、ベルンによってベアトが敗北して滅ぼされるかでしか終わらないと断言できる。ベアトが勝って終わるようなことは
奇跡の魔女として宣言するわ。
なら私は絶対の魔女として宣言するわ。ベアトは絶対に勝利できない。そして奇跡は絶対に起こらない。
Well, that's the first time we've seen that expression on Baron Castle. Alright, so it seems like we're done. We'll see if there's anything left after this. I'm not going to go through the tips today. I will do that in the next episode, where that'll be after I've gone through everything else. So, yeah, we've got a lot to think about. I'm still not sure how I want to go about rewatching everything. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be rewatching my own videos, because I kind of want to, like, watch other Umineko playthroughs, but I'm worried that if somebody has, like, ideas that they could, like, potentially influence me in ways that I didn't foresee, so as much as I want to watch a few other Umineko playthroughs, I'm gonna hold out, just stick to watching my own, so that I can just pour over every detail. And that next episode will probably not be coming out immediately after this one, because not only do I have to finish rewatching everything, but I also have to like piece together all my theories and everything, just put everything together in a way that is, like, easy to recite, makes sense and all that. So there's that. And even that, I don't think we're going to start the episode 5 for a little while. I'm probably going to play another short game in between that, just because Umineko's taking up a lot of the time that I would devote to other games, so I don't want to get too burnt out on it, so I do want to make sure that we have time for some other stuff, even if it's just something short. I still don't know what that'll be yet. So I think that is everything. New elements may be accessed from the title screen. I don't know what that means. Oh, music box. We can just enjoy all the music in the game. Well, that's interesting. I'm guessing we can also... Yeah, we've got episode 4 there. We've got all 4 tea parties, all 4 question marks, and all 4 tips. Episode 4 tips, I will be... Well, I mean, I can filter through it a bit. Yeah, we won't talk about all the characters or anything right now. We'll do that next episode, but... we can just mess around here and see if there's anything worth looking at. Seems like the execute and revive button doesn't really do anything anymore. Yeah. Well, it seems like that's all we've got for this. So, yeah, we've also got some stuff here which we can read next time. So, I'll look at that later. Next time, we will be talking about all 4 episodes. We'll be examining them from front to back, just examining every single thing that happened, trying to piece together what I can think of everything. Because right now we've got a lot of like red truths and details that will make more sense if we go back and look back at things with those in mind. So that's what I'm going to be doing off screen. And then I will come back to you guys with, you know, my unified theory of everything, of how everything works. And if I don't figure it out, that's fine. We'll just keep going. But I will tell you everything that I do figure out, and I will tell you everything that comes to mind. Why don't we just check out the music box too? Just real quick. Yeah, okay. This is all it is. So, yeah, I think that's everything. So until next time, take care, and I will see you then, whenever it is.